Hi there. We all know what it's like to jump into a fitness program and do it for a little while and then find out it's just not working after maybe a few weeks or maybe a month or two. And we don't know why, but again, we feel like we've failed. I'm going to ask you some questions today that I want you to think about that will help you know if you're really prepared for the long haul of a major weight loss journey. If you have significant weight to lose, this is for you to listen to and ponder. Hi, I'm Easter. I'm starting a new series today on what you need to do to lose serious weight, starting with today's analysis of where you are right now, physically, emotionally, and mentally, to tell you if you're ready to get going there. Let's start. First of all, let's consider your mental readiness. Do you have clarity in why you want to lose weight? It's not as easy to proceed forward if you don't have a true, really resonating purpose in why you want to lose weight. If it's, oh, well, I just need to lose the weight. Why? Ask yourself, go deeper than that. Mine was because I had two beautiful 5-month-old granddaughters that were just lovely, and I was told I wouldn't live a long time if I didn't lose weight, which wasn't enough. But my daughter reminded me I wouldn't see them grow up, and then it was enough, and I started. So you may not have grandchildren, you may have children, you may have pets, you may just want to feel fantastic again and have energy again and have good health and know you're going to live a long time. That's a great reason. You may want to do it because you want to be able to get around again and be mobile and feel like you can get to where you want to get without losing your breath and being in pain all the time. Another good reason. There are many good reasons. Sit and think about what yours is. If you have a clear and deep resonating purpose, that's a really good place to start. Next, think about your goals. Now, my goal was to lose 200 pounds because I was up to 350 pounds and I needed to get back down to 150. And I knew it was a long, long journey to get there. And it was daunting and overwhelming. So I needed to break that apart into 10-pound increments. I thought if I can work on the first 10 pounds and then be really happy with that, mentally, I'm going to feel better about where I'm going. So I broke it down into sizable chunks that were manageable, that were doable, that were achievable. And it was kinder to me than thinking, oh, I'm never going to get to 200 pounds. I'm never going to get there. But I could see myself saying, yeah, I can lose 10 pounds. I can do it. I did those things 10 pounds at a time. And then when I'd get to 20 pounds, I'd celebrate somehow. Maybe I'd buy myself something or go have a pedicure or treat myself to something I wouldn't normally do because it was a big achievement. 20 pounds was awesome and something I hadn't lost in a really long time. So achievable goals. Make sure you have achievable goals that are not going to overwhelm you. Let's talk about your mindset. Do you spend a lot of time speaking negatively to yourself, beating yourself up for past failure? Oh, I can't diet because I'm such a failure. I've tried so many times. You need to turn that around. And can you be kind enough to yourself to say, well, I've given it a try before. I know it didn't work out, but I'm ready to try again. And maybe it didn't succeed. I'm not going to live in the past beating myself up for what didn't work. I'm looking forward to something that will work, and I'm going to do my best. That kind of positive mindset will go a long, long way for you. You're starting to practice self-kindness, self-compassion, self-love. These are things you're going to need in your toolbox when you're moving forward. Because if you're always looking at yourself and cringing, if you're always thinking this goal is too big, I can never do it, I'm not worth it, I'm just not the person who, if you have that negative talk, guess what? You're going to talk yourself out of succeeding. So can you treat yourself with self-love and say, you deserve to feel better. You deserve to look better. You deserve to be healthy again. You deserve to have energy again. You deserve to be able to bounce around and do what you need to do with a positive attitude. Can you be kind to yourself? Can you be loving to yourself? Can you be encouraging to yourself? This will get you a long, long way. You need to focus on the benefits of what you're doing rather than living in the past. If you can, you will able to take steps forward that you wouldn't be able to otherwise, because you're so stuck in the past that it pulls you back. But when you look forward and you step forward and you don't look back, keep going forward. But if you look back, you get stuck. So get out of the past and move forward to a happy, healthy future. When I started my weight loss journey, I realized one of my biggest problems was that I didn't handle stress well at all. I knew I was triggered by stress. I was triggered emotionally, but stress was a big one for me. I have a lot of stress in my life, and I needed to find positive ways to release that stress. Those things came through meditation, prayer, mindfulness, deep breathing, and being conscious of the fact that I am stressed and that I need to do something about it. Once I learned to employ these tools, how I process stress looks so different than how I used to before. It was all about the food before. I felt stressed, I turned to food. It's not ever a thought anymore, and that's a really good thing. Do you have some strategies in place to get past the stress? Do you have some strategies in place to deal with the times that life kicks you sideways? How are you going to deal with it in the moment? I talk a lot about the tools, and I'll talk about that in an upcoming video soon. Next, let's talk about your emotional readiness. If you know that you're a comfort eater, an emotional eater, are you prepared to A, not turn to food when you are feeling that way, and B, seek alternative strategies, and there are some, and they work, to get past eating emotionally and not have to gobble down 4,000 calories because you're having a bad day or having a bad moment. Do you realize that even positive, intense feelings can also drive you to food as much as the negative ones? You have to, if you're like me, it's important to realize that when I was really excited about something or when I was celebrating something, the first thing I wanted was to get food. Oh, I should order one of those banana chocolate crepes now. Or, oh, let's go get some Dairy Queen and have a huge sundae. Like, how is that doing me any good when I'm 350 pounds already? It didn't. So I had to come to realize that celebrating with food was just as bad as trying to compensate for how I'm feeling in a negative way. Are you ready to be present with yourself, be honest with yourself, and realize when you are feeling emotional and feeling that pull towards food, and then employ some strategies to get away from turning to it? Are you ready, and do you realize that there are positive ways to get past your food behaviors? Your relationship with food can change. If it's toxic now, it doesn't have to stay that way. For me, it changed, and it can for you too. Are you ready to employ journaling? Journaling was a huge part of my weight loss journey and fitness transformation. When I felt my emotions creeping into the present and I felt my pull to food and I didn't know why, I would journal and I would just bullet point out things like a machine gun. Now, by nature, I'm a writer and it comes very easily to me, but you don't have to be a writer. You just have to get it 2 or 3 words to identify what the feelings are on paper or on your phone or on your laptop. And then after that, you can take a look at it. And what happened for me is I'd look at that list. I say, oh, yeah, that seems blown out of proportion to me, and I need to get some perspective here. Writing it down gives you perspective, and it also releases those negative emotions and puts them somewhere else other than inside you. It's such a powerful, powerful tool. I can't say it enough. I want you to also be sure physically that you're ready to take on a weight loss journey. Maybe you need to see your doctor first, or a nutritionist if you have special dietary needs or you have medical issues. So please consult with your doctor on this, or do your research and make sure that you develop a healthy eating plan that's going to work for you. We all know what a sensible eating plan looks like. More than that, we know where we're eating wrong. We know when we're supposed to eat differently, and you can eat differently. You can eat in a healthy way. It takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of self-discipline, but once you're in the habit, you'll wonder why you didn't do it all these years in the first place. Are you prepared to make those gradual and sustainable changes to your diet? You'll thank yourself a million times over. I love my food. I was so scared of what life would look like without sugar. It kept me stuck for probably 2 years. Thinking of not having sugar terrified me. And I know some of you feel the same way. Whatever your comfort, your go-to food is, you don't need it. It doesn't do anything for you except give you a few seconds of taste. It's lying to you, and you're lying to yourself about it because you don't need it. And the food I have now, I get just as much pleasure out of, except it's nutritious and it's delicious and it's not high over the mountain with calories, and it's not full of junk. It's healthy food and I love it. The tastes explode in my mouth in such a great way. I love my food, but I don't overindulge, and I don't turn to it when I'm sad or mad or happy or glad. I just have it when I'm supposed to have it, and I have a healthy relationship with my food now. Are you ready to be able to begin some mobility, whether that be a little bit of walking, an aqua class, doing some chair exercises, or if you're further along, perhaps doing 10,000 steps a day, or whatever you can start with and build yourself up. I started with 2 blocks, and now I walk probably 14 to 18,000 steps a day, and I love my walking time. Love it. I always thought, oh, I'll be so bored if I'm walking. I can't do that. I don't know how people do that. My walking time is my cathartic, me with God, me with prayer, me with meditation, me with my favorite music, me with my favorite podcast time. I love my walking time. Sometimes I just think, and that thinking and that prayer, and you don't have to be somebody who's religious to do this. You just connect with whatever it is inside you. Some people call it that still small voice. Some people call it that light. Some people call it energy. Whatever it is that you connect to, you connect to it when you're walking, and you have time to develop this conversation and rapport where you actually start to feel the answers coming in, or thoughts come to you and you think, where did that come from? Dang, there, hello, that's where they come from. It's that something that is outside of you, or maybe that lives inside you, that gives you those answers. So I encourage you to develop that listening to that voice, to develop going to that voice and going to what you believe is God, and developing a relationship there. It will help you so much on your journey. So the food part, that's the scary part for all of us, because we think we can't survive without our favorite foods, but it's not true. I've said this before, but food doesn't comfort you. You go to it for comfort, but really it's not saying, hey, I know you're having a bad day. Let's talk about some strategies to get out of this predicament. Or so-and-so hurt your feelings today. I'm really sorry. Maybe tomorrow when you talk to them, you can approach it by saying such and such. There's no advice. There's no therapy. There's no friendship. There's no love. There's nothing in it for you. Do you get this? You put the food in your mouth, and then you torture yourself and hate yourself for eating it. It's a lose-lose situation, except you gain weight. You lose in every way, but you gain weight. There are people who care about you. There are resources for you that you can turn to. There are so many tools to use instead of eating that will actually help promote your mental, emotional, and physical healthiness. You don't need food to comfort you. I know you feel like you do, but it's a lie. Don't believe it. It's not your friend. Okay? Trust me. I know I've been there. Another part that's important is committing to eating only when you're hungry and when you've designated your eating times. So if you've designated your eating plan to have 3 meals a day, you eat those 3 meals and nothing else. The only exception I make is if I've gone to the gym for 2 hours and watched the babies for 2 hours and I'm really, really feeling lightheaded, I will have a little bit of fruit or yogurt or something to give me a few extra calories. Sometimes a low-calorie protein shake. I have a really good one that is amazing. Oh, and the taste of it is just to die for. I will have if I need it, but only if I need it. I stick to my 3 meals a day and I don't go outside of that. And that is how I lost the weight, by doing exactly what I said I was going to do and sticking to it. Are you ready to commit yourself to an eating plan that is healthy and stick to it no matter how you're feeling? Your feelings aren't going to be why you eat. Nutrition and feeding your body are going to be why you eat. You may want to consult a nutritionist or your doctor about how you're looking at an eating plan if you don't know already. I know society has pretty much educated us on how we should be eating, and we know what we shouldn't be eating, and we know how much we shouldn't be eating. But if you feel really lost in this, take a little bit of time and effort, spend a little bit of money and see a nutritionist and get a healthy food plan for yourself, because it will benefit you tremendously. You need to have a balanced diet, and maybe you have special needs like diabetes, or you're vegan, or whatever the case may be. If you have those special needs, you need to make sure you're getting all of your food groups properly. So please think about consulting a nutritionist or your doctor to make sure that you're where you need to be nutrition-wise. Are you ready to eliminate mindless eating triggers, such as sitting in front of the TV and just eating, sitting down at the end of the day and just eating, wandering into the kitchen and you don't know why, and you start eating? These things are things that need to be conquered, and as overeaters, we do them. Are you prepared to deal with it when you get that urge? Are you prepared to journal or make a phone call or pray and meditate? If you are, then you're a lot closer to where you need to be. I am a very strong supporter of journaling. I can't get enough of it. I use it all the time, and it is just so instrumental in helping me work through the feelings that I'm dealing with for food, and in getting peace in my weight loss journey. So ask yourself if you're ready to just even bullet point down when you feel triggered and why you feel it pulling you to the food. Start to say, if you start to feel like you're having a craving, use that as your alarm bell. Oh, I need to do some self-examination. What's going on right now? And be honest with yourself. Write it down. What is triggering you? Journaling will help you understand yourself, help you see the patterns, and help you identify strategies to get you out of those patterns. It's a powerful tool. How about body positivity? Can you look at yourself and instead of cringing, look at yourself and smile and say, I do look pretty when I smile, and my eyes still shine. And when you lose that 10 pounds, celebrate it. Maybe you won't see it at first. Nobody else will at first, but in a couple of months, you'll see it and other people will start to notice it. And you can feel so good about yourself on the way. You drop 20 pounds and you're that much closer. You drop 30 pounds. It's like, oh, wow, did you change something? Is there something different about you? And you can smile bigger and shine all the more. There's every reason to celebrate every little victory along the way. And I know you don't like where you are right now, but sooner than later, you're already going to have shed your first 10 pounds and feel such a powerful surge of pride and happiness that it's going to boost your energy and boost your confidence and boost you forward to the next step and keep you going the next month so you can lose another 5 to 10 pounds. Having a positive view of yourself will help you so very much. If you're beating yourself up all the time, it's really hard to take a step forward because you're too busy telling yourself how terrible you are. You can't do that anymore. It's time to tell yourself the truth. You're a beautiful person. You're a kind person. You're a giving person. You're a fun person. You're a bright person. There's no reason why you shouldn't like yourself the way other people like you and the same way you look at and like other people. Time to look at yourself with a positive attitude. With that positive attitude, I also want you to practice self-care. That includes things like regular showers and taking care of yourself, taking a little bit of pride in how you look, putting on the nicer top instead of the moo-moo top, putting on the nicer pair of pants instead of the joggers, and spend some time every day just doing something to make yourself feel better about yourself. And I know some of you have told me, oh, after your last video talking about that, I went and got my nails done. Yay! I'm so proud of you. That is such a good step in the right direction. You're celebrating the positive. You're looking at the beauty inside you, and you are beautiful on the inside, and you're beautiful on the outside. And if you give yourself self-love and self-care, you're only going to keep catapulting yourself forward, and soon you'll see the differences you want to see. And soon you'll be stepping forward day after day, and it will be exciting, and it will be motivating, and it will be inspiring, not only to you, but to other people. Now, one thing you have to keep in mind, if you have a lot of weight to lose like I did, it's not going to happen overnight. It's a slow, gradual process that happens day after day. It took me 23 months to lose 200 pounds. It sounds like a really long time, but when I look back, it really wasn't very long. Every month I had something to celebrate. Every month it was good. And it just zoomed by me so quickly. I have no thought or memory of thinking, oh, I'm never going to get there anymore, other than before I started. Before I started, I was positive I would never get there. But once I started and I saw progress, it was like, oh, maybe I can lose weight. Oh, 10 pounds this month? How is that possible? 10 pounds next month? What? 10 pounds the next month? What? And it just melted off of me when I changed my toxic fake behavior with foods. It melted off of me, and it will do the same for you. Take that attitude of yours and put it into a positive place, and you'll see the changes happen, and you'll see yourself separating yourself from toxic food behaviors and toxic eating and wanting healthy food and healthy food habits. I found putting some structure in my life to be very valuable. I'd get up, I'd make my bed, I'd brush my teeth, I'd do my hair, put a bit of mascara on, get dressed, and start my day. And my day got to have structure as time went on as well. This was a gradual process. And you have to remember, you didn't gain your weight overnight, and it's not going to be lost overnight. You probably took years to gain it, and hopefully it will only take you a year to 2 years to lose it gradually. But depending on how much you have to lose, I mean, 200 pounds for me was a lot of weight I needed to lose. And maybe you only have 100 pounds or 60 pounds to go, and it's going to take you a heck of a lot less time than it took me. So just be patient with yourself and give yourself the grace and the time to not think that you have to do it overnight. Putting structure in my life helped me because I knew what I was going to do. I could feel productive. I could feel like I was doing something moving forward. I started to incorporate movement. I spent time with my granddaughters. I spent time with my children. I did everything I could do to make myself feel a little bit better every day. And that structure kept me moving forward when I felt like I was only in the backward zone. But I pretended I was in the forward zone, and then soon I was in the forward zone, and I was dropping weight like crazy. And this will happen to you too. Accountability is really important in your weight loss journey, and most of all, accountability with yourself. Are you prepared to be completely honest with yourself? If you mess up, can you say to yourself, oh, wow, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, we're not going to do it again. Let's move forward and turn forward and stop looking back. I did have a day where I messed up on my 2-year journey, and I had 3 pieces of cheesecake. And if there was 4, I would have had 4, because I thought I could handle a little bite. And a little bite became, oh, that wasn't very much. Just have a little bit more. And a little bit more became, well, you've already had 2 bites. You might as well have more. 3 pieces of cheesecake later, I was on the other end saying, oh, what did I just do? I just ruined everything. My progress is shot. I've ruined it. And then I said, wait. No, your progress isn't gone. You made a mistake. Now turn around and get back on track really fast. And it made a huge difference to me. You cannot dwell on mistakes. You cannot dwell in the past. You just pick your boots up and you keep walking forward. That's the attitude that will move you forward. Sometimes we are just not enough on our own. You need to build a support network, family, friends, support groups online. There's support groups that exist for overeaters. There are support groups on Facebook. There are support groups here on YouTube, including this community, which is growing. And I really like how you support each other. And I thank you for that, because some of you are just so incredibly uplifting to one another. And that is beautiful to see. And I see you making progress and encouraging each other. So keep it up. And have your own community, have people you can call. If you don't have anyone, join one of those online groups for overeaters. It will make a huge difference to you. You'll have people to call who have been there and who have lived through your own story, and it will make a huge difference to you. You know your unhealthy eating patterns already. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to ask questions about that. You know when you binge, and you know when you comfort eat. You know when you mindlessly eat. You know when you emotionally eat. Are you willing to get past that? Are you willing to turn to healthy resources to work through your feelings? Are you willing to employ tools and turn to journaling and turn to talking to others when you're having a bad moment? Are you willing to let go of the food so that you can get healthy and get to those goals that you really want so very much? Willingness is critical. Be willing, because you can move forward and you can get out of this. So to wrap this up, I have one final question for you. Are you willing to go in this for the long haul? Do you realize that it's not going to be overnight? Like I said, it took you a really long time to get where you are if you're very overweight like I was. And it's going to take you time to get to your goal weight. Are you willing to put in the time, put in the effort, take on new habits, employ new strategies, and be willing to try new things instead of eating that will bless you, that will help you unburden yourself emotionally, that will help you change from unhealthy and toxic behaviors into behaviors that will bless you and make you healthy and happy. If you've said yes to most of these questions, you're probably ready to start your weight loss journey. If you haven't, watch this over again and think about the questions and ponder them and think, can I do this? Am I willing? If you are, yay! And if you're not yet, that's okay too. You will be when you're ready. You're ready when you're ready, and nobody can make you ready except for you. Leave me a comment down below and let me know if you're willing. Let me know if you're saying yes, and let's start this together. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and I'll be back with part 2 very soon.